Welcome back, watch fans. We have an amazing watch market update for you today. We are talking about the world of Audemars Piguet, and we are talking about the world of Patek Philippe. That's right. And actually, today we're talking about, we're going to answer your questions, because I've been getting a lot of different questions in the mails that have been coming. I've been getting a lot of questions from various aristocrats who are members of the channel, various riffraff, various boukiaks who leave comments. So we're gonna call this. What do they call this? They ask me anything. Ask me anything, I think, is what the kids call it. It's those things, right? So one of the questions somebody recently asked me is, "Are you going to some sort of watch event in New York, or I think that happened or was happening?" And the answer is no. The Colonel does not attend any watch events. Now, why is that? Well, I don't want to be associated with the so-called watch community. I don't want to be part of any club that would have me as a member. Okay, so especially if I have to pay. Okay, and especially even if I get a free ticket, why would I go to some Bukiakistani thing? I don't know, where is it going to be? It's going to be you got the Geneva thing, which is like CHOMOS Stand Central. You got a couple of these things in New York, and it's a bunch of the same grifters and groomers, boukiaks. I mean, this place is infested with CHOMOS and boukiaks. I mean, literally. So here's why I don't go. First of all, nobody invites me. That's number one, and they're not willing to pay me to go. So that's number two. I don't want to associate with the riffraff. Look, there's a reason why we have to have the demon repellent, right? You got to have the gold on the to repel demons, and the same thing with these. Yeah, you want to kind of. I believe in sort of maintaining a state of spiritual purity, of not being defiled. My aura, the perimeter of my aura being defiled by demonic and Chomostani forces. And these events are filled, as I said, infested. They're infested. They are overflowing with Chomos and Bukiaks. The thing I have, big issue I have with the so-called watch community, I don't like these things, these communities, these so-called communities, these things that, people congregate around some, random thing. I mean, they have nothing. I don't know. It's like, listen, I'm not like one of these I don't want to say I'm antisocial, but I'm. I find it very. What's the word I'm looking for? It's forced. It's cringy. And there's nothing more cringy than the people in the so-called watch community. Let me start. So what I mean by this? I think the ultimate defiler of the watch community, that set the tone, for better or worse, was. I would say it has to be the Hodinky people. The whole Hodinky journalism, so-called journalism, in quotes, standard of writing, which is, breathless. So everything is breathless and everything is described as iconic. How many times do they use the word iconic? Every watch is described as iconic, and the people who, it's kind of like a bad version of, there used to be a good magazine. It was pretty good, like years back. It was called The Rake, which was started by Wei Ko. He's a watch guy. This is before, now, this is the early days before he, had a midlife crisis and, got all the crazy tattoos. This is before that. But he was all, anyway, but he would do these, it was good writing. That magazine actually had some pretty good writing. He actually, here's the thing. He had this very good writer who was involved in it. It was this guy, Nick Fawkes, I think they call it. I don't know how you pronounce it. Fawkes, maybe. Folkes, who knows? But the guy's, the guy's great. I thought the guy was a homosexual, but apparently he's got 2 kids and he's married. But who knows? I mean, he comes across very, maybe it's a whole English thing, but this guy does great videos. I think he does a thing with his kids. Oh shit, look at this money. The streets are filled with money here. The pavements are lined with money. And what do you call it? But he was a good writer. But then you have all these bukiaks from the Hodinky people. Everything is iconic, and that's trickled down into these people who write the catalogs at Philips, who is the worst offender, followed by what's his name, Monaco Legends. You can't blame the Monaco Legends because, like, you know, they're Italian. They don't really, yeah, English is not their first language, so they kind of copy the style. So, like, you know, every one of their catalog descriptions is always like, you know, super rare, exquisite. You know, they all the superlatives, all this stuff they load it up, and it's ridiculous. I'm very annoyed with that, and that whole thing has permeated the horological community. So when you go to these events at these watch meetups, so here's what you're going to be there. You're going to have a bunch of kind of like newbies who, like, I don't know, they're all like, you know, excited to be looking at Omega watches and Timex or whatever garbage that they have at these shows. And of course they're going to have you know, the independents, the so-called independents, which are mostly garbage. I mean, there's only one or two really good independent brands, and they're all breathless, and they're all blah blah blah, and they're all like very annoying and cringy. And then you have, because it's a target-rich environment, you have to realize this brings out all the predators. It's kind of like an ecosystem, right? Like when you have in nature, right? When you have like these, let's say, little bunny rabbits running around the desert, you gotta have the coyotes and rattlesnakes who will eat them, and also the hawks who will eat them, because otherwise it will be overrun. I'm talking about like the little chipmunks and, you know, the stuff that runs around like out here. So you gotta have predators to keep that the ecosystem in tune. By the way, there's a thing going on here. Speaking of CHOMOS and community, I'm gonna talk about this. What's going on here? We got a whole interesting thing. There's a conference here. It's called Complex or something. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of weird thing. I'm gonna actually address it because it's a lot to do with the whole horological community. Wow. Unbelievable but true. Now hold on a second. Now that, look at, my God, this girl's what a banging body. Look at this. Unbelievable. Look at this. You guys are getting, I don't know what the face looks like, but from the back, that's like a 10. Yeah, for me, not, you know, maybe not you guys, because a lot of you guys are probably you know, chubby chasers and groomers. Anyway, but speaking of groomers, so what happens is a lot of these events, they attract young gentlemen and a lot of young Asian gentlemen, because a lot of the Asians, I mean like the Chinese, Koreans, Japanese type of thing, which I think technically they're, I don't like the word Asian because, you know, it means anything. It could be like, it's like a whole, it's like two continents. It's a whole politically correct term. But I'm talking about the, you know, the Orientals. Actually, Oriental also is very, you know, we got to just say, you know, China, Japan, Korean type of gentlemen. So those gentlemen, they attract a certain type of groomer. A lot of these chomo type bukyaks, like, you know, the old Chomo channel, you know, the, you got Uncle Curly, but that's a different taste. But, you know what I'm saying, right? So a lot of these guys go there because you have a target-rich environment of these twinks. That's right, twinks. You don't know what a twink is? You Google it. You Google it. So anyway, so you got these guys and these elderly gentlemen in their size 7 Skechers. They wear the size 7 Skechers and, you know, and the built-in pocket square. They all got a $29 polyester jacket that they have with a built-in pocket square and size 7 Skechers. And then they go to these events and invite these young gentlemen to go to their hotel room for like a watch collector meetup, private, you know, and basically the idea is they say, well, I can get you your whatever, yeah, Patek, whatever, AP at retail. That's right. I have a relationship with the AD. That's right. This is the big thing. The AD. Yes. I have a relationship with Bucherer, aka Bukyaker or Bukyaker. You know, this Bucherer is very close to Bukyak because the brands are related. So these guys go to these events to, you know, basically look for fresh meat. Okay, so it's very creepy. So basically, these events, these watch events, they got 3 people. They got the twinks, right? They got the twinks, then they got these watch journalist type, these guys who use the breathless. I'm talking about the Hodinkis. Then you got that guy, what's his name? His name is Tony something. He worked at Hodinky, then I think, I don't know, he left off. I think he's doing his own thing. I don't know, he's some bukyak. Actually, I offered the guy a job. I offered him a job, and he turned me down. I offered him a job. He could have been the editor-in-chief of the Watch Reporter global media conglomerate. He could have been the creative director, the Anna Wintour of the Watch Reporter. But he's a small-time thinker, so he decided to go off, and do his own like stupid newsletter that nobody reads. And because the guy is a talented guy, he's very detailed, data-oriented. He does these very deep dives. I mean, he's got really no taste. I mean, to be honest, his taste is kind of, I shouldn't say, he's developing. He's relatively wet behind the ears, but he does good in-depth reportage, right? Which is, most of these people don't. Most of these, the thing I hate about the watch community is they all talk about this. The new word that they're using is scholarship, like as if watches are like a some sort of like very serious thing, and which they're not. It's a consumer item, okay? They make these things by the millions, okay? And even the ones that are FP Journal, not forget about FP Journal, whatever it is, these one-off, it's a mass consumer product. Okay, it's not, we're not talking about, old master paintings here, okay? We're not talking about doing, doing scholarship on Rembrandt paintings, okay? This is not what this is, and Vermeer. We're not talking about a report on the intersection of Vermeer Rembrandt circle of the Dutch Golden Age. By the way, so what's going on is they got this conference here, which I can't figure out what this is. This thing called Complex. And I actually remember seeing this magazine like 30, I think this thing's been around for like 30 years. Now, I thought it was some sort of like skater. By the way, I remember picking up a copy because, I used to go to stores and you look at magazines. It's always interesting. There's always, they don't have these stores anymore. They used to have these stores in New York where all they would do is sell these magazines, foreign magazines, like everything. There was a place on 6th Avenue and like, what was it, 8th Street or something? I don't know. They had all these great, I remember going there when I was like 14 or whatever. Like, you discover a whole world. You could see all this different stuff, And, I always liked that business of the magazine thing. And I was actually sort of in the adjacent to that. So I was interested in that, in the thing. I remember picking up this magazine and I couldn't understand, like, what the hell is it about? Like, it's weird, like, are they skaters? Are they, like, collectors of, like, weird, like, tchotchkes, like these, now you have these labubu babies or whatever it is, boo-boo babies, labubu, and then you have all these, like, toys that these people collect, which is fucking weird. I don't understand, are they into, like, what kind of music? Is it like hip hop or something? I mean, I was passing by here the other day. They were playing this weird music and they were skating and, like, what is that these people are doing? Like, because I've also noticed it's a very it's a cultural mix, which is very unusual. Like, it's not like, I thought skaters were all like white kids from the suburbs or something, right? But here, this is like, it's a real mixture of ethnic, whatever. I mean, like, look at this. It's a complete mixture, which is very unusual in like a thing. Because I pay attention to these things because I'm very interested in demographics and marketing, right? So, like, what is going on? They have tattoos. They got is it called streetwear? Like, what is this stuff? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is going on? I don't know if I'm old, but I remember seeing this magazine like years, like I was probably in my 20s then. I remember saw it, and I didn't understand it then. I don't understand it. Like, what brings them together? Like, I know that they like this artist Kaws, as I like to call him, Kaws, who's actually a pretty good artist, to be honest. I mean, I actually respect the guy's ability to create content. Although I think he's, I almost don't want to say he's overrated, because he actually, his guy's very good, very highly commercial also, which is very important. So I think Kaws is, but his market has really taken off. But I would say you do not want to buy these little figurines. You don't want to buy these like mass-produced type garbage. I think I would also stay away from the sculpture. There's something about those sculptures that are just fucking creepy, with those weird characters. But his paintings, especially his abstract stuff, is actually, it's pretty good. It's very of the moment. But anyhow, gentlemen, so we're talking about, what we're talking about? We're talking about,
if they have.
Yeah, what is this, like, what is this thing, the bathing ape, Supreme, and all this stuff, like, what is, I don't understand, like, the whole thing, like, why would somebody would want to buy that stuff? Like, it's unbelievable. Wow. Oh my, unbelievable but true. Now, that was unbelievable but true. I don't understand, like, what is the commonality? What is it's the culture. It's the culture. So, anyway, but think about it. The whole, like, these watch events, though, it's much more, kind of pretty much of a, I would say the demographic is relatively uniform, right? It's going to be probably like, kind of like your, I don't know, what do you call, like, should I say, does the word yuppie exist? No, that doesn't. But upwardly mobile, aspirational consumers. They're like most of I would say the watch event is going to be like, probably 65% Caucasians, and then the mix of like Asians and whatever, and you have a couple of black guys, right, or whatever, right? That's that's the demographic, right? Whereas this thing is like a complete melting pot, which is fascinating. Like, what is this thing that these people have in common with this culture here? I'm actually fascinated by that, right? Like, what is, it's almost like, what is this thing? Like, am I missing something? Is this, anyway, I must be missing something, because I mean, what an amazing thing, right? They must have thousands of people coming in, and they're spending money, because I've seen them carrying around these shopping bags stuffed with crap. So they must be spending crazy money. They might be doing like a $1 billion in sales, right? I mean, this is, and they get everybody. Like, again, it's like a whole mix of like a Noah's Ark. They got everything here. Anywho, so what does this have to do with watching? Right. So why am I not going to these events? Because nobody invites me. And the only event I would go to is the Thierry Stern yacht party on Epstein Island. That's the one I would go to. Okay, that would be a good party. Now, why hasn't Thierry invited me? I don't know. Maybe he watches the channel and he doesn't like the criticism that we've had about his Bukiak taste, right? I mean, Thierry Stern is basically a Bukiak. I mean, I'm sorry, it is what it is, okay? The father was the real deal, Philippe. You can't always, listen, it's hard out there, because you can't, it's, a lot of times, the kids, they can't, it's very hard sometimes for the kids to exceed the father. Like, now, Philippe did actually much better than his father. Philippe Stern, really did a much better job at Patek. I mean, his father was basically just like a business guy making dials or whatever. He wasn't really like a visionary marketing guy, whereas Philippe was. And then the grandson has been ruining the whole thing. He's opened up the brand to CHOMOS stand. That's the problem. He's opened up the brand. He's he's pivoted. He's made the Chomo pivot. He's pivoted to CHOMOS stand, and which is sad. Anyhow, back to talking about what are we talking about? The watch events. Yes. What else are we talking about here? Hang on a second. Shit, we're 20 minutes in. Let's get to the good content. We got filler content here so far. We got filler content. Yeah, I don't know what these kids are buying this weird stuff. Like, hang on a second. I'm going to turn this over here. What is this? What is this? This is it. This is what they're selling. Collectibles, apparel. Yeah, this is weird. I mean, grown people. These are grown people. These are all like, these people are like 28, 30, whatever. And they're buying these toys, collectibles, and crap. For what? I don't. It's so that's I think what that is. This complex, I think, is what they do is they sell this. I can't figure it out. You know, I remember that store Supreme. I remember it opening because I had an office there. I had a. Where was it? I was at 594 Broadway. That's where my office was. I had a. This is like literally 30 years ago. 30 years ago, I got this great deal in the space. It was like a loft building, and it was great. I mean, and because it was the deal was, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's not really an office. It's more like a loft building. So it's not really like, you know, these days where, you know, there's you know, the whole thing. So what it means basically is, you know, I was like in my early 20s, and you know, it was basically an alternative to renting an apartment. Sometimes I would sleep on the couch there. It was great. I would, you know, it was kind of like an apartment. I think I was paying $800 a month for the space. If I remember, it was about 500 square feet, maybe, but real feet, not you know, where they claim it's you. I mean, like measure. It was like a big space, big ceilings, nice. It was nice. And then I would go to the gym in the morning to take a shower. So I was in very good shape because I would, you know, do a lot of exercise so I could, you know, do that type of thing. Go to the gym and, you know, because, you know, you have to go every day, basically. You know, I was told that fire trucks add a lot of production value to films. This came to me from Dove Simmons, the 2-day film school. This is what I learned. If you're shooting a scene and there's fire trucks passing by, keep the cameras rolling because that's high production value. What does it mean? We don't know what it means. Anyhow, so I remember. So when I had the space on 594 Broadway, I remember the store opened up, Supreme, and I think it was on Lafayette Street, if I remember. It was a huge store, and they had this weird stuff there with that logo, the red and white logo with like skateboards and whatever. And there was always people there, and I couldn't figure out like what are they doing there? Like, why are they so interested in this thing? Like, what is like? I remember I must have passed by a million times. I never once walked in, and now years later I found out. Oh, it's like what's amazing about this brand. Anything they put their logo on, they could sell for like, you know, crazy money, like a hammer, a brick. I mean, it's like a whole collectible thing, right? Now, what is it? But here's what's interesting, right? This is where are we going with this? We're going with this is that these kids, they're collectors. Now, I heard that these millennials, whatever, they don't want stuff. They don't want to have stuff, right? They don't want stuff. But meanwhile, they're buying stuff, right? Like, they're buying all this crap. The Labubus and the Supreme and the hoodies, you know. So, where is the world going? Where is the world going? I don't know. We don't know what this means. This means something. There must be some sort of message, right? You got to connect the dots. I'm trying to see the pattern. You know, I'm always looking for the pattern, right? Like, I'm trying to, like I'm saying, I'm trying to categorize. Like, I don't know what category this is. Like, what is this? What is going on here? And how do I make money off of this? How do we make money off of this thing in the watch community? Well, here's what I think is going to happen. I think a lot of these bukiaks who are going to this complex are going to be pivoting to watches. Well, actually, a lot of them do collect watches. Actually, they're into AP. AP, I know, is a big thing, I think. AP, and also, what are they into? They're into possibly Richard Mille. They like the hype stuff. They like colorful. They like hype stuff. They like logos. So, like a bathing ape. You know, those people buy, like, the AP Spider-Man, AP Black Panther watch. Those are the people who buy the Black Panther. The ones that you saw, go to that complex thing, those are the buyers of the Spider-Man and the what do you call it, Black Panther AP. But here's what's going to happen. I think a certain percentage of them will develop some sort of taste, but whatever it is, they like to buy stuff, right? So what's going to happen is those people, when they hit 35, when they hit 40, because a lot of them look in the 30s, they're not young kids. But when they get older, they're going to start buying Patek Philippe because they already, they got that collector, mentality thing, right? So they're going to start buying Patek Philippe Ellipse. That's right. Back full circle. We're doing the weave, the Trump weave. We're doing the Trump weave, and we're talking about the Patek Ellipse. This is why this is like your last opportunity to get the Ellipse, my friends. Unbelievable but true. Leave your nasty comments below.